1, 2, Web3.
Greetings, developers, hackathon participants, and metaverse architects. Welcome to another live stream on the Moralis Web3 community channel. I'm here today with Shiv and Bill, also both of the Moralis team. And we're going to be talking about a variety of different things today. We're going to be talking about why we love building in Web3, why it is the perfect time to be building in Web3. And I know that many of you are part of the 1-2 Web3 hackathon. So we're going to talk about preparing our submissions to be completely ready to turn in, and also the importance of following through with that and figuring out ways to maybe tidy up our loose ends so we can have a full MVP ready to go to show off and to really make the most of this opportunity. So that said, I want to give Bill and Shiv an opportunity to introduce themselves. Bill, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me here again, Phil. It's always a pleasure to work with you two guys. My name is Bill Gilmore. I'm a front-end developer, lucky enough to be the lead front-end at Moralis Web3. I hail from Ireland. I've traveled all around Europe. At the minute, I'm staying in France. And yeah, it's just a great time to be alive and a great time to be part of this very, very exciting industry. Over to you, Shiv.
Perfect. Hey, everyone. I'm Shiv. I work in the product and events team at Moralis. And it's really great to be here and discuss why it's important to build in Web3 and why it's important to submit your hackathon project, even if you don't feel it's completely ready. So yeah, excited to be here, excited to be talking about it.
Perfect. Well, let's start with that. I mean, one of the things is, so we've all just spent a great deal of time these past few weeks putting together a Web3 project. And maybe for some of us, it's the first time we're building in Web3. And then for some of us, maybe we've done this a few times. But I want to just impress upon everyone how exciting it is to be working in Web3 right now. Because a lot like we saw with earlier, internet booms, there is it does subsidize after that. And we saw that with the launch of the internet. But if you take a look at the leaders, the leading protocols and the leading websites that emerged during those time, they really did make their mark again later on, where you could draw a line between their first all-time high and their later success, and it's just a straight upward line. So what does that mean for us when we're building in Web3 right now? Well, what it means is that the success that we're going for, we might not see this year in the middle of the bear market. And the success that we're going for, we may see during this hackathon, but even if you don't, we want to show you how becoming part of this Web3 community is the real success. And we can guarantee that for you at Moralis. So let's get into that a little bit, Bill and Shiv. I want to talk about if no matter, let's put all of our projects aside for a second here and just talk about, what is the experience like for Web3 devs that use Moralis going forward, and what types of things that we had available during the hackathon are really available every single day to our developers.
Well, one of the interesting things that you touched on there, Phil, was the bear market. That could be like a new term for some people, but basically it means like there was a huge boom for a while and everything was going up, and the prices of all Bitcoins and every other altcoin in the world were going up and up. That was a crazy time when everyone was looking to buy in and be part of your product, and people were under quite a lot of pressure probably to push things out before they're even ready. But right now, this bear market means that things are declining a little bit, right? But stabilizing. And it's a perfect time actually for builders. This is the right time to be building and investing in new ideas and having new experiments. And this is the best time for Web3 as well, because finally we have this amazing workflow, this any stack package that Moralis are offering, where you can jump on to Web3, easy as it is with Web 2, and start to really harness all of this new technology and start to build this new infrastructure and be part of a revolution like this. There is no stopping it. It doesn't matter whether it's going up, price of Bitcoin is going up or going down. Like, this technology is here to stay, and it gives us a lot of power as developers and a lot of really cool new things like native payments, that we can able to exchange assets between each other and exchange currencies between each other without being middled by these big corporations that own large chunks of the internet. We can build something new and something exciting for us. How does it make you feel, Shiv?
Exactly. I completely agree with you on that, Bill. And just to go back on what Phil was talking about the dot-com bubble, about the internet era, which started as a boom, and then we saw a slowdown. But then we know that it resulted in some great products that we use in our daily lives, right? Like Amazon, Spotify, Netflix, and all that stuff. So the thing is, it's always about the builders in tech, like I feel that's really hard. Like, it's always about the builders. And when we say bear markets are a great time to build, I think part of the reason is like you can focus more on the product instead of the financial side of your projects, right? And the thing is, with our great enterprise grade API solutions that we have, like which you pointed on, Bill, I think it's really helpful and amazing for a dev to like start using Moralis at the moment, like figure out what offerings they're going to have for their users, what value they add to the users through their products. And yeah, it's really a great time to build. And I feel the last man standing in this bear market and the last builder standing, those are the ones who really win this.
I think it's something.
That's an excellent point. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Bill.
I think something also we're very lucky with Moralis is that a lot of other companies have maybe been like a little bit hurt by the downturn, or like it's maybe demotivating a little bit. But the fact that we're not based around a currency, like there is no Moralis coin, like we're very, very focused on developer tools, and that's what we're trying to deliver. We're not trying to make another currency to compete. We're trying to just give you the tools that you need to make your dream become a reality.
Exactly. And one more great point with that is like, we have a great community support as well. And the reason when we say Moralis is a great tool to build your next upcoming great dApp or future ready dApp, the reason for that is like you don't just get the tools. Like maybe if you're just starting out, or maybe if you're a big enterprise Web2 company who's looking to move into Web3 without any experience, then we have great set of community engineers who are always there for you in the Discord. So we basically handhold you to the path in Web3. So yeah, that's something great as well.
Really excellent point, gentlemen. I want to keep us moving along here because we do have several things to cover today. And so moving on from that, what do we have here? We have at Moralis and at Filecoin, for that matter, a great community of Web3 developers, people who want to help you, 24/7 support available in our Discord. Please do take advantage of that. Not just through this hackathon, but ongoing. We're here for you indefinitely.
Exactly.
There. But moving on from that, we want to spend the second half of this talking about our submissions in particular. And here's how I want everybody to think about that. So this whole hackathon, we've been talking about MVPs, minimum viable product, something that you can demonstrate this works, even if it's just a small portion of your full vision. And I encourage every single one of you to submit the best MVP that you can, even if you feel like you're removing some features in order to make it work. And here's why I say that. In software development, and we do this at Moralis every single day, we always want to think iteratively. We want to think in terms of this version, and then we do another version, and then we do another version. And what do each of these versions have in common? They're incrementally better than the one before it. Unless you produce an increment, you don't create an opportunity for yourself to create a better version next time. So let that be okay. If you need to, in this past week, decide, okay, these 3 features I'm going to put off to the side and work on later, but these 2 core features work perfectly and demonstrate what I'm trying to do, let that happen and let that be your first iteration. Your first iteration never defines who you are as a developer. it only is just that, your very first version. It's like a prototype car. I mean, it can be very cool, but until it gets to production, that's not the one that people are really going to put through the battery. You're going to have a certain amount of grace with those early MVPs. And that's true even in the scope of a hackathon. If you're fitting the minimums, you may have an MVP that really isn't all that close to what you want, but if it works and it follows the guidelines as set out in the hackathon, you may have a very competitive offering. I want to hand it over to Bill again here to add anything I may have missed there.
I really don't think you missed anything, Phil. That's really, really good advice. One of the things I would say, not even just like, dropping the features or forgetting about them. One of the most important things is like when you come to the submission at the end is about your presentation. It's amazing to say, look, this is what I set out to do. Like I wanted to build this and this and this and this. Then through this process, I realized I had some troubles with this, or I needed more time with that. And you can like lean into that in your presentation and still show your idea completely realized, but you only like submit the code that you completed. So that's completely fine. Like there's no reason to like, to not talk about that and the lessons you learned from it. That is so valuable. And like the presentation can win almost as much as the code can. So like documenting this as you're going through it, talking about what you learned, the challenges that you faced that you maybe didn't expect, that's going to be like really, really powerful when it comes to the end and you're making your final presentation. And actually speaking of iteration, Shiv had a very, very nice quote that he mentioned to me earlier. I found very inspirational.
Exactly.
What was that, buddy?
That was by Reid Hoffman, and I really resonate with the points that you guys shared. And like that quote exactly says about it. It's like, if you're not ashamed of the first iteration or the first version of your product, then you have shipped it too late. And that's true, like even you're building in a hackathon, you should not aim too high. Let's say if you're building a DEX or something, you're like, if I have this much liquidity, then I'm going to go, or all that. That's not the way to go, like you should always be iterating, as Phil shared, and you should be always shipping and showing to the customers what you're building. And actually that will get you some great insights as well, like let's say if I'm building a Web3 version of Spotify or something like that, and maybe it's not completely ready. People could just hear one song at the moment. The thing is, when I share that, people go through my app, they have the user experience, they share some feedbacks. I can take that and put it back into my product to make it something better. And as Bill said, right, like you might have a great vision and you might have some great ideas. You could have that in your presentation and you can share it that way. And that really helps. Yeah.
That's a super good point, actually. Like the whole point of iteration, like why we focus on this at Moralis, is to get the product into the customer's hands as quickly as possible. Like Shiv says, get that first-hand user experience, get the feedback, and then understand how you can improve it from what they think about it. Instead of you thinking that you have all of the answers and you're going to build this perfect version of it, if you just keep building and don't ship anything, that's never going to happen. Like getting the user feedback that's a really good point, Shiv. Nicely done.
We really want you to be. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Phil.
We really want you to be successful at this event. And everything we're setting up here is specifically designed to show you success with what you're doing. Now, that comes in various forms. Obviously, there's some big prizes available. And the winners of those are going to be successful in achieving that prize. But then on top of that, if you establish a connection within our community, within the file community, or start your own group of Web3 developers, that can easily turn into its own type of success. And so do not underrate that. Now, on top of all of these things that we're talking about here, there is one other thing I want to mention, and then I'm going to hand it over to Shiv to go over even some more reasons why we should submit. But on top of all of this, we're going to reward you. And we're going to reward you with a free POAP NFT. Let me just share my screen right now so I can show you what I'm talking about here. If you're not familiar with this particular distribution platform, POAP stands for Proof of Attendance Protocol. It actually runs on a different chain that we don't currently support, that's also EVM, and they're available on the Ethereum mainnet, which we do support. Now, this POAP is available to every single person who submits a project to this hackathon. And every single person that submits an MVP will receive a link to mint their own POAP, and that is something that proves that you were part of this hackathon. We will not be issuing links for these to anybody except for people who actually submit a project. So we want you to do that so that you can be rewarded, and this is just one of a few ways. On that note, let's hand over to Shiv. Shiv, tell us some of the other reasons why it's important to submit your project and why that's going to pay off for them in the long run, if not sooner.
Well, the amazing and beautiful Pope that you showed, that and the big prize pool that we have, those are the really great reasons to submit a project. I mean, like, I'm just bought to that. Like, if I'm just showed these two things, I'll go and submit the project. But the thing is, let's say, like, if you're even not sure of your project, right? Let's say you're not sure if that's going to win something or not. You're too skeptical about it. You're not too much confident. I think still you should go ahead and submit your project. The reason being, let's say you submit your project, you share it on Twitter or stuff, and you tag us. Like, maybe you talk to the people about what you have built. You're going to get great feedback, right? Like, the iteration when you launch a product and the values that you get from a customer is not just about, let's say, a business that you're building. Maybe if you're just doing a hobby project, right? Maybe if you're, let's say, a front-end developer and you have made some really cool UI elements and stuff, and you feel that you don't want to go into entrepreneurship, you just want to get a job, but Hackathon, you're doing it for experience. So tag Bill in that, like, share it on Twitter, like, reach out to Bill, share your submission. Okay, just let him know, like, hey, Bill, I've just shared my submission here. You could check it out here, and then get some great feedback from Bill, right? So submitting your project is not just about winning the prize pool or maybe just getting the Pope, which is obviously both are the nice facts. Like, I really want that Pope. I haven't participated in the hackathon because I'm part of the team, but I would love to get that Pope. But yeah, apart from those, it's really great to, like, submit your hackathon project and get feedback from the people on what could have been improved and what you could do something in a different manner, which could help, right? So those are quite some good points that I think should motivate you to submit your hackathon project.
Most definitely. I mean, I hate to sound like the old man in the room as usual, but back in my day, back in my day, it was like you just went to hackathon to, like, A, to learn some stuff, B, to have fun, and C, to network. Like, it was important to find other people because there wasn't such a large network, especially back in the day, of like how to bump into other developers and how to learn from them. But the fact that, like, in Web3 now we have these insane prizes, like the prize pool is frankly crazy for this. Like, you guys have done a great job. Filecoin have done a great job. Thank you so much for the support. This is not just a great opportunity to learn, but a great opportunity to earn. And I would say you got to be learning or earning. But if you're doing both at once, that's seriously good.
Exactly. And the thing is, like, submitting projects and maybe like when your project gets shortlisted or maybe you get some feedback on the project, right? That gives credibility to your project. Let's say you're just making a hobby project, which you think might be a good project, but you're not too sure about it. But when it goes through some of the industry leading experts, like the people that we have in our team who will be judging your project, when you get feedback from there, that basically adds credibility to project. Let's say you submitted a project which is liked by the people here in Moralis and everyone in Filecoin. They're like, okay, this is a great project and all that, and you just want $5,000 or something like that. That prize money is not just worth for the exact dollar amount or the fiat amount that you're getting. The prize money, like the credibility that you get from it, that's much more worthy as well. So you should be looking for that as well.
Very well said. And I do want to also thank everybody here for joining us today. I know this was a little bit shorter live stream. Now, we don't want to just leave you guys at this. I welcome everybody to join us in GatherTown after the live stream. I personally will be there. I'm going to invite some other members of our team as well to join us. If you have any questions on the previous workshops, on the things we brought up here, on submitting your project, I will mention that the submission form is not yet available, but will be soon. So as soon as that is available, we're going to post that on Discord and make sure that everybody is aware. Look forward to seeing all of you in GatherTown soon. Go ahead and click the link in the description below. We will be there in about 15 minutes.
Perfect. See you.
Thanks, everybody. See you later.